You ever met someone who's just unshakable? Like no matter what life throws at them, criticism, chaos, setbacks, they just glide through it with calm confidence? Here's the secret. They don't waste time complaining and they don't waste breath explaining. And this mindset, just powerful, it's magnetic. Oprah Winfrey didn't just rise from tough beginnings to global influence by chance. She mastered this exact principle. Let me break this down real quick, because if you stick with this, even just for the next few minutes, you might just stop asking, why me? And start saying, watch me. Let's go. People love to talk. That's just human nature. But there's a difference between talking to connect and talking to complain. Complaining is easy. It's almost automatic. Something goes wrong and the first thing we do is look for someone to tell. We think it helps. We think it makes us feel better. But in reality, every time we complain, we're doing something deeper. We're choosing to focus on the problem instead of the solution. We're reinforcing the idea that we're stuck, that we're powerless, that life is happening to us, not through us. Now here's the twist. People listen to complaints, but not with respect. They might nod, they might act like they care, but deep down they're not inspired by it. They don't see strength in it. They don't remember it. It becomes background noise. The more you complain, the more invisible you actually become. That's what Oprah understood early. She could have spent hours talking about the unfairness of her childhood, the systems that tried to break her, the moment she was counted out. But she didn't build her name by repeating pain. She built it by rewriting the story. She chose to take what hurt and turn it into fuel. And people paid attention because she wasn't begging for sympathy. She was showing strength, quiet strength. The kind that doesn't scream but still shifts the room. See, complaining gives away your power. It's as if this thing controls me. It becomes your identity after a while. You become the one who always has something wrong. And once that label sticks, it's hard to shake. The truth is, people respect those who carry pain with dignity, who walk through the fire without shouting about every flame. It's not about bottling it up or pretending you're fine. It's about knowing the difference between venting and staying stuck. Oprah didn't play the victim. She chose to play the creator, and that's what makes all the difference. Now let's talk about explaining. It sounds harmless, right? You do something, someone questions it, and suddenly you feel this urge to explain yourself, to make it make sense to them. But here's the thing, when you constantly explain, what you're really doing is asking for permission. You're hoping they'll understand you enough to approve of you. And that's where you slowly start handing away your power, piece by piece. We explain because we want to be liked. We don't want to be misunderstood. We fear judgment. But the truth is, people are going to judge no matter what. Whether you stay silent or speak loud, whether you follow the rules or break them, someone somewhere will have something to say. So the real question becomes, are you living for their peace of mind or yours? Oprah learned that explaining too much weakens your impact. It makes you seem unsure even when you're not. Think about it. When someone keeps trying to justify their choices, it starts to feel like they don't fully believe in them. But when someone owns what they've done without apology or defense, you can feel that energy, that quiet certainty, that self-trust. And that kind of energy is rare but powerful. Most of us think we're being polite by explaining ourselves, but often it's just fear in disguise. Fear of being rejected, fear of not fitting in. So we overtalk, we overcorrect. We try to shape ourselves into what makes others comfortable. But the truth is, your growth isn't supposed to make everyone comfortable. Oprah didn't rise by trying to make everyone understand her every move. She trusted her vision, even when others didn't get it. That's the kind of mindset that separates leaders from followers. When you stop needing to explain yourself to be valid, you free yourself from the weight of other people's expectations. And in that freedom, you find your real strength. Here's something most people never realize until it's too late. Whatever you give your energy to grows. That's not just motivation talk, that's real. Your focus is like sunlight. Wherever you shine it, things start to heat up. So if all your energy is going into what's wrong, what's missing, or what didn't go your way, don't be surprised when those things start taking over your whole mental space. This is why some people feel stuck even when their life isn't that bad. It's because their mind is always in the negative. always scanning for problems, always replaying what went wrong. That becomes their story. That becomes their pattern. And the scary part, they don't even notice it's happening. Oprah didn't get where she is by denying the hard stuff, but she also didn't sit in it forever. She looked at it, learned from it, then shifted her focus forward. That shift is everything. Because when you start looking for possibility instead of limitation, your whole life starts to bend in that direction. This doesn't mean fake positivity. It's not about ignoring the real stuff. It's about choosing what you build on. You can build on pain, or you can build on purpose. You can build on frustration, or you can build on vision. But you can't build on both. One of them has to lead. People don't realize how powerful their focus is. A person who focuses on their potential becomes powerful, even in silence. A person who focuses on what's missing becomes tired, even in success. And it's all internal. No one else can shift it for you. Oprah focused on growth, on creation, on what could be, not just what was. And every time life tried to distract her with noise, she redirected her focus back to what mattered. That kind of discipline isn't loud, but it's rare. It's the type of mindset that makes success feel effortless, even when it's anything but. There's something people don't always talk about, but it's real. The more you try to explain yourself, the more people start to question you. It's almost backwards. You think if I just tell them why I did this, they'll understand me better. But instead, it can have the opposite effect. The more you talk, the more it sounds like you're unsure, like you're convincing yourself just as much as them. It's kind of like when someone keeps saying, "Trust me, trust me, trust me." After a while, you start wondering why they have to say it so much. Real trust doesn't need a loud introduction. And confidence doesn't need a long explanation. It just is. You feel it in someone's presence, in how they carry themselves, in how they make decisions and move forward without waiting for approval. Oprah understood this early. She knew that if every time she made a bold move, she paused to explain it to the world, she'd never move at all. People always have opinions. They have expectations, and they have their own fears that they like to project onto others. If you try to satisfy all of that, you lose yourself in the process. Explaining too much can water down your power. Not because being open is wrong, but because constantly defending your path makes people think you don't believe in it yet. And once people sense hesitation, they hesitate too. That's just how human energy works. People follow certainty, even quiet certainty, more than loud confusion. There's a calmness that comes with owning your truth without needing to package it for others. It doesn't mean you never speak up. It just means you stop needing everyone to get it. Some people will only understand you after the results show up. And some may never understand at all. That's okay. You're not here to make sense to everyone. You're here to be solid in who you are, even when no one's clapping yet. There's a kind of power that most people overlook, and it's found in silence. Not the kind of silence that comes from fear or holding back, but the kind that comes from knowing you don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to defend every move. You don't need to react to every opinion, every comment, every piece of noise thrown your way. We live in a world that moves fast. Everyone's talking, posting, reacting. There's pressure to have an answer, to have a comeback, to explain yourself in real time. But silence, that's rare now. And because it's rare, it stands out, it makes people pause, it makes them wonder. Silence creates mystery, holds weight. Oprah didn't build her presence by talking over everyone. She built it by choosing her words with care and knowing when not to speak at all. There were times people criticized her, tried to pull her into drama, questioned her decisions. But she didn't always answer back. She didn't always explain. Sometimes she let the work speak. Sometimes she let time speak. And that silence, it said more than words ever could. People think silence is weakness, but it's the opposite. It takes strength to sit with discomfort. It takes maturity to not react, especially when you're right, especially when it would feel good to fire back. But silence isn't about losing the argument. It's about not needing to have one in the first place. When you can stay calm while others are loud, it shows control. It shows discipline. Not just of your words, but of your emotions. That's a deeper kind of strength, and people notice it, even if they don't say it out loud. They feel it. That kind of silence doesn't scream for attention, but it earns respect without asking. You don't have to tell the world what you're doing all the time. You don't have to explain every decision or fight every opinion. Sometimes the most powerful move is no move at all. Just stillness. Just focus. Just focus. Most people think success is about doing more hustle, more noise, more showing off. But the truth is, real success often comes from doing less. Not less effort, but less reacting, less proving, less trying to be everything for everyone. It's about restraint. Holding back even when it would feel good to let it all out. That's where real mastery lives. Oprah didn't reach the level she's at by saying yes to everything or chasing every opportunity that looked shiny. She built her name by knowing when to pause, when to step back, when to say no. And that takes a different kind of strength. It's easy to go with the flow. It's easy to follow the crowd. But it's harder to choose your own pace and stay loyal to it, even when the world is moving faster. When you have restraint, you're not moved by every emotion that shows up. You're not rushed by every outside pressure. You learn to sit in the tension without needing to escape it. You don't answer every critic. You don't chase every trend. You move with purpose, not impulse. A lot of people waste their power by reacting to everything. They feel the need to explain, to defend, to prove their worth over and over. But the ones who rise above are the ones who realize not everything deserves your attention. Not every situation needs your energy. Some things are better left untouched, unanswered, unbothered. Oprah's success didn't just come from what she did, but what she didn't do. She didn't fall into petty battles. She didn't get distracted by noise. She didn't lose herself trying to meet everyone's expectations. And that kind of discipline, that inner control, it becomes a foundation, solid, unshakable. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional, knowing your power and choosing when and how to use it. Not everything needs your voice. Sometimes your silence, your calm, your decision not to react, that's the loudest message of all. So next time life corners you and your first instinct is to complain or defend, don't. Stand tall, stay silent, stay sharp. The world doesn't need another excuse. It needs your evolution.